Today, we're going to talk about why you should be celebrating more to improve your financial life.
Welcome to Wisdom and Wealth, where we talk about the human side of money. Join us as we dive beyond the numbers, unpacking the psychology of money to equip you with the tools you need to be wise in wealth.
I'm Frazier, Chief Behavioral Officer at RFG Advisory, and we all celebrate the finish line. But what if the key to getting there faster and feeling better along the way is actually celebrating small wins in between the start and the finish? Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you stopped to celebrate a financial milestone? Not the big ones like retiring or paying off the mortgage on your house. I mean little wins like staying on budget this month or saying no to an impulse buy that you would normally click on and purchase without thinking. Most people don't, but science says that we should. So let's talk about why celebrating wins is one of the most underrated financial habits and how you can build a ritual around it that boosts your motivation, boosts your confidence, and boosts your progress. Here's one thing we know about human beings. We're great at chasing goals, but we're terrible at celebrating progress along the way. We get so focused on the next milestone, the next thing that we can accomplish, that we rarely pause to look back and say, wow, I've actually come a long way. I've made a lot of progress. Psychologists call this the negativity bias. The brain tends to scan for problems, not progress. It's like a radar that's always searching for what's not working or what's ahead instead of where we've come from, the progress that we've made, the things we've overcome on the journey. I once worked with a couple who hit a big milestone. They crossed over the $250,000 mark in their retirement savings. Now, was that their ultimate goal? Was that the amount that they needed to be able to retire? No, but that's still a big accomplishment. And instead of celebrating, their very first question was, okay, great, but how long will it take us to get to 500,000? It's a common trap. And over time, if you continue thinking this way, it drains your motivation. It creates burnout. It makes the journey feel like more of a grind. The truth is, if you're only allowed to feel good once the goal's completed, then you're robbing yourself of the fuel that keeps you going along the way. Let's talk about the science of why celebrating works, starting with the progress principle. There's a study done by the Harvard Business School where they found that the single biggest driver of motivation and positive emotion at work wasn't money, it wasn't promotions, it was simply making progress in meaningful work. In other words, progress creates momentum, but only when you recognize it. When we acknowledge a win, big or small, we boost motivation, we boost energy, and we create the resilience that's needed to get to our final destination. A second reason why this works is what BJ Fogg, a behavioral scientist at Stanford, teaches, and that is emotions create habits. If you celebrate immediately after doing something positive, like transferring money to your savings account or saying no to the Amazon purchase that you would normally buy, you reinforce the behavior in your brain. That moment of joy becomes a neural anchor and it wires in the identity of someone who makes good money decisions. And to help wire in this identity, Fogg even suggests saying something like this to yourself: I'm someone who builds wealth. It might sound silly, might sound kind of crazy, but it works. The emotional reward is what creates the habit. The last reason why this works is because celebrating actually triggers a small hit of dopamine in your brain. It's the brain's motivation chemical. It tells your brain, I like that, do that again. So when you celebrate a win, you're literally creating a loop of motivation and momentum. You're rewiring your brain to want to keep making smart financial decisions. So what kind of wins are we talking about here? How can you start applying this idea of celebrating wins in your financial life? You don't need to wait for a massive breakthrough. Remember, progress in any step towards your goals is helpful. So let me give you a few quick examples. Finally open a Roth IRA for the first time? That's a win. Paid off your first credit card? Win. Talk to your spouse about your finances for the first time in months? Huge win. Tracked your spending for a full month, something that only 1% of Americans do, by the way, that's a win. Or here's one of my favorite examples. A friend of mine, a few years ago, when he paid off the mortgage for his house, he didn't take his family out to a 5-star restaurant. They didn't necessarily go and pop champagne. All those things are great too, by the way. He took his family to Chick-fil-A because ultimately it wasn't about the price. It was about the moment of celebration. It was about saying, we did it. So how do you turn celebration into a habit? Something that you do regularly and not just a once in a while thing because you watch somebody talk about the importance of it in a video. Here's a simple 3-step framework that you can use. Step number 1 is always recognizing the win. Once a week, maybe once a month, but ideally once a week, stop and ask yourself, what did I do financially this week that moved me forward? Then either write it down or share it with someone, maybe a spouse, your advisor, friends, a group text. But first of all, recognize it. Second of all, write it down and share it. Now let's go to step number 2, anchoring the celebration. Don't just recognize the win, you have to celebrate it and celebrate it quickly, right then and there. Let's say you finally looked at the phone, had your order on Amazon ready to place, but you put it down and made the decision not to. Go grab your favorite chocolate bar, your favorite candy bar, and celebrate that way. And then step 3 is to make it meaningful. You want to tie your celebrations when possible to your overall vision, the overall goal. So for example, if you're saving for a family vacation, instead of waiting till you have it fully funded, set a point maybe halfway through where you say, once we get to this point, we're going to celebrate by taking a mini local adventure as a family to give us a little bit of a taste of what it will be like to go on a family vacation, to keep us motivated and to get that family vacation fully funded. So here's my challenge to you. Think of one financial win from the last month, big or small. Now celebrate it. Write it down, share it, say it out loud. Celebrate it right here, right now, whatever you need to do to make it feel real and rewarding, to keep you motivated, to show your progress. And then do it again next month. Don't wait until your goal is complete to feel proud. Progress is worth celebrating. It keeps us motivated along the way. And if you want to build a better relationship with your money, start by celebrating the fact that you're already on the way. As always, if you have any questions, if you want to discuss further, reach out and contact your financial advisor. And until next time, stay wise and wealth.